Whoa, people, whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, yeah, Chicago's finest, folks. It's time to, man, finish this saga out, man, about my journey. So, man, I got my new laptop today, so, man, I hope it sound a whole lot better, man. But, shit, we gonna kick it off like we always do. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe, and share, folks. Like, subscribe, and share. You know what happens? What's my name? One of the joints out of the catalog. They can't stop me. Shot town to be more than Cali. I've been doing this, Queens. What's up, baby? Yeah. See, I grew up in a very unstable home. Every 6 months, we was always forced to move on. Mama working hard, 4 kids, boxed on, the only child working in 8 that I have ever known. It's like that when you grow up in a ghetto homes. So gang life is like a magnet for your little bones. Lights off. No heat, no phone. You gravitate to those with that slip of the long show. Now you wrapped up in a life that you can't let go. Every day you having feelings you can't let show. Teach my kids in school because they got low. You fight so much that you don't even wanna go. No fresh air cuts rocking the nappy bro. Ain't no homemade lunches, you got tickets, bro. No Air Jordans, you got the wings of a pro. Designer clothes don't even ask, cause you already know. First place at 14, trying to get some dough. So I could buy me some gears, so I broke in a stove. Half pressed 3 days in a row, but on the 4th, the police was knocking at my door. I'm in trouble with the law now. Mama wondering what she went wrong with her only male child. Probation 5 years, now I'm on trial. In the hood, every day it's like we on trial. Running up about the struggles in my life. Even if you don't got a lot, you still can get it right. Forget about the gold chains, rings, and the mics. Get your education. Salute, salute. Yeah. It's not about no cause. The boys think you will go far. In the end, you will turn out to be the superstar. Never stop burning up the streets, and I will. Never stop delivering this heat, and I will. Never stop my dream. Never stop rapping. We'll get to this grand, and I will never stop until I reach my goal, and I will never come to my destiny. Unfold, and I will never go. It's been a long. Appreciate it, John Shab, man. Everything written, arranged, produced by me and my brother, man. I gotta figure out how to get total clarity on here so y'all can really hear it, my brother. Never stop trapping and getting this brain. Never question my destiny. I'm golden. I will never go. It's been a long road. My time is finally here. I can feel it. Never. What up? Mac Legend, Mr. Yak, you dig? R.A.P. What up, John Shab? How you doing today, bro? Man, I'm gonna continue this. Can't give y'all that yet. Man, what's up with you, man? I appreciate everybody, man, that's gonna decide to tap in, man. You know, this is the continuation of, my story, man. Now where I left off last time, I believe it was right after the release party and everything went south. You know what I mean? It was like, man, so I had to go back to work. I had to go back to my job, Baltimore Galvanizing. Mind you, I was making a nice piece of change there. And it was like, man, before I actually had left, the original owner wound up selling the company. And you know what I mean? He brought it was some investors from Portland, Oregon.
So only one of them ever really came to Baltimore to see anything, and they hired a plant manager out of Detroit. He's originally from Pennsylvania, actually a hillbilly dude with some, you know what I mean? He had some ways about him, but originally he needed me very bad because I was like I ran that shop, you know what I mean? I ran that shop top to bottom. I was, you know what I mean? I was the man there. And over the course, I was training him how we did it there, how we did it here at Baltimore Galvanizing, opposed to where he came from. And it was a lot of black workers there, so he didn't really know how to deal with the black workers and shit. So I had to I had to pretty much keep the brothers in line. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was trying to basically, you know what I mean, reel me in with keeping everybody in check. But they was hollering, you know what I mean? We were some of the highest paid galvanizers in the country. So he actually really wanted to erase everybody that was originally there and bring his own crew in. He was really trying to bring a whole shitload of Spanish guys in at a real low rate, blah, blah, blah. But the original owner, Mr. John, man, salute to Mr. John Saylor, man, because he kept it a bean. He put it in the contract that he was selling. It was 6 of us, but it was mandatory that they had to keep us employed for at least 3 years. And he wound up giving us a severance pay. I got like 4,500 or something like that. And you know what I mean? He put it in the contract specifically, but they couldn't let us go because he saw the bullshit that, you know what I mean, the one cap was actually on. So man, I had to go back. And by this time I done showed him all the ropes up in there. You know what I mean? And he was, you know, when you can tell a person is in their feelings about, you know what I mean? He was actually the plant manager. But I got all the respect from the workers, from the companies that called in, from all the truck drivers dropping off and everything. So it was like, man, he was feeling some kind of way. And he was actually we had a secretary upstairs, I'm going to say Jay. And they had, you know what I mean, it was rumor going around that me and Shorty was doing what we was doing. But you know what I mean, that was a rumor. They were just taking it upon themselves to feel some kind of way because a lot of people gravitated to me. So when this whole situation happened the way it did, I wound up having to go back. And I basically had to tuck my tail for real. Because it's like, man, I left, man, knowing the situation that I was putting myself into was what I was supposed to be doing. And that was my dream. That was my lifelong vision of, you know what I mean, doing this music. So when the whole shit went shebang, I had to go back. Now, mind you, I was making $26.30. And he knew I was coming back in the situation. And I had just caught the bullshit case, like right before that. So I'm on paper, so you know I need to be like working and a whole bunch of shit. So he knew my back was pressed against the wall at that exact moment, how everything transpired. He tell me, yeah, I can give you a job back. But instead of coming back at $26.30 that you was at, he wanted to drop me down to $15. And I'm like, you talking about a total insult to injury. It was like, man. So it was like, but I was like, man, my head was I was going through like a roller coaster ride at the moment of all kind of. I was going through some issues, man. The whole situation with me and my brother with this group, with the album, everything went down the way it went down. I'm in the middle of a separation. I ain't divorced yet, but I'm in the middle of a separation. Shit hectic. Me and my first wife ain't really rocking like that. So it's a lot going on. You know what I mean? So I took the job back because I just needed to stay busy. You know what I mean? I needed to stay busy because my mind was on some other shit, to be honest, man. And it was like, man. But in the process of that, I started back in the streets. You know what I mean? I started, cause man, they didn't cut my money. So I started back. I got back in the streets a little something. Cause it was like, man, they cut my money, so I'm trying to make the difference in this money up, and I'm trying to be busy as hell at the same time where I ain't sitting still or nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like, cause I got, man, my mind is turning right now. So, man, I'm not really dedicated to the job no more because the way they did it, it was real shiesty the way the situation happened, the way they did it. So I'm really not into that. So I'm getting off. I'm stressing about my marriage situation. I'm stressed out about how my shit went with my childhood friend / brother / rap partner. So it was a whole lot. So I started back hustling. So when I got off work at 4, from 4 to 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm hustling. I'm out hitting sales. So man, I'm barely getting any sleep. So it's like, man, I'm tired as hell when I'm coming into work. And I could see he was like he was at a point, man. I had taught him everything he needed to know to run the shop now. So now he's at this point where he's really ready to try and erase me around here. But it was like I was so respected. It was hard for him to do that shit because it was like, man, and by this time he wound up making me the foreman. So gave me a couple of my dollars back. So man, he fucking with me. He trying to, man, and like I always told him, my job, I did my job to the fullest while I was there, but my job is a part of me. My job don't define me as the gist of me. That's a part of me. You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to get me pretty much to throw extra whip on the black brothers up in there, get a white boys passes where they really didn't have to bust their ass, but he wanted me to keep pressing up on the brothers and shit up in there. So I'm like, man, I had to tell him, like, man, bro, yeah, I'm the foreman, but at the same time, I'm still a black man. And I see the shit that you're doing in here. So it's like, man, I got a whole lot going on at this time. So it's like, man, I'm not even into it. So I'm coming in tired in the mornings. And I see he was trying to throw some bullshit out there at me. So pretty much trying to figure out how to cut my head off up in there without me getting unemployment, without me getting another severance pay. He was working on it. And I wound up calling the main guy because I saw the setup. But they never responded to me. They never responded back to me. So it's like, man, I remember this damn day like it was yesterday. I stayed up all night. And he sat this shit up against me. I was the head kettle man. So I'm doing the nonstop of the production. Plus I'm the foreman. So I'm still supposed to maneuver around and make sure I keep all the workers working, telling them what to do, everything. But listen to me, when you're the crane operator, you have to be on the kettle the entire time dipping his work because it's a numbers game. So it was like he was stacking shit up against me. Then he started all this new process with paperwork. So I had to do the paperwork. He threw his work on me. It was a whole lot. So this particular day, man, I stayed out all night hustling. And I came in and I came into work and I was tired as hell, man. So I was sitting at my desk doing this paperwork and I dozed off. I remember this shit, man. I dozed off. And when I jumped up, like, damn, I looked up. He was standing right there in the doorway looking at me. I'm like, motherfucker. So me and him was like, for a couple of weeks, we was like on some barely talking. And I could tell he was on some setup shit. And then the 4th of July come around. I'm supposed to take a trip to Chicago. You know what I mean? I had it planned out, had my ticket, everything. I was going home. I'm like, man, I need a break, go home, get some of this soul back up in me, man. And, you know, Mom Duke's cooking, see the family, get some of this energy. That's really, you know what I mean? That Chicago energy back in me, man. Because I was going through some shit. My mind was all over the place right now. And he asked me, I got a real big job, a new job in. So like, man, we got to work this weekend. So I canceled my 4th of July trip. This shit was crazy. I canceled my trip. So we work a 12-hour shift on the 4th of July. At the end of the shift, he calls me up to the office. He say, I need you to go downstairs and get Greg, get George, get the other nigga Prince. It's like 4 or 5 brothers. He had me fire all of these brothers at the end of the shift. I'm like, bro, this shit is foul. And I'm like, man, but I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? I go handle my business, try and maneuver that over with them smooth as possible. And everybody in their feelings. Then he called me back upstairs. Man, him sitting at one-on-one. He was like, Man, this is the hardest decision I ever had to make. Still get the crying. I mean, boo-hooing, crying like big, thick ass fucking tears, right? And he like, man, I talked to my wife last night. She told me this probably be the best decision. I'm like, man, what you talking about, big dog? He said, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Fuck you mean let me go? Mind you, I'm the foreman. Now you can demote me to take your title, but to take my entire job, I've never had a write-up. I never had a dirty urine. I never had a verbal warning. I've never had a written warning, nothing. But we got a bunch of Caucasian brothers in here with multiple write-ups, multiple dirty urines, multiple verbal warnings, multiple write-ups that I personally had to do, still got a fucking job. So I'm like, what? And you know what I mean? I'm like, man, I'm in a daze. It's that 4th of July, mind you. I canceled my trip home and everything. He set this shit up. And mind you, the secretary didn't come in all week. And she hit me that morning like, man, as soon as you get a chance, call me. I'm like, all right. So after this situation, I called Jay. I'm like, man. She said, man, I'm so sorry, Jack. But I heard them what they was planning on doing. And they know how tight me and you was. They tell me if I say something to you about it, I'm fired on the spot. You know what I mean? I'm fired Johnny on the spot. I'm like, so they was on some setup shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, that's going on. And it's like, mind you, in the process, the owners came up a couple times. And they was trying to really get me to throw the plant manager under the bus, ready to give me this position. But me being the lawyer dude that I am, this is the dude I see every day. This is the dude I work shoulder to shoulder with every day. I covered his ass. And I ain't even cut his head off like I could have when the big wigs wanted me to. Lawyer to a fault. I always say that. I always said I've been lawyer to a fault in a few different situations. So when this situation come around, he got back to him that they was moving and shaking, really trying to give me that position. So he took it upon himself to find an opening, cut my head off. And this is, listen to me, folks. His reasoning for terminating me was he want to bring a new plant manager in, and I'm too respected by all the workers, by the by the customers, by truck drivers, by everybody. He bring a new plant manager in, they're not gonna listen to him. They gonna still come listen to me because everybody, I'm too respected around there. How the fuck is that a reason for you to get fired because you do your job too good? That was what he threw out there at me. So I'm like, man, I'm going through it right now. All this shit just happened. Now I lose my gig. I get unemployment. I'm getting an unemployment check every week, right? I got unemployment for 1 month. Mind you, I got like 13 years in here, something, 12, 13 years in. I got unemployment for 1 month. And I was one of them 50,000 in the United States that they terminated on unemployment. So I got unemployment for 1 month after working there 13 straight years, getting all these taxes, everything taken out from me. Now I'm bare ass, ain't got nothing. So I go head first in the streets. It's what I do. So I'm like, man, I'm in a whirlwind of crazy shit. My life just took a 360 in a real fast period of time, you know? So, man, I'm in the streets doing what I do. And I wind up, bam, I catch another case. I wind up catching another case, man. I caught another case, man. It was like, man, my luck, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just, man, stay busy so I don't lose my fucking mind. I'm going crazy right now. Mind you, me and the wife ain't talking. The situation with me and my best friend, it went the way it went. I ain't got my confidant to really chop it up with the vent tube, nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, I was going through it. So I just started, man, I put my head down and just started full-time hustling, even though I got a case. Even though I got a case, man. And then I'm out here doing what I'm doing. And I just told a story the other day, my last case that I caught. I'm on I got probation for that original case that I caught. Then I catch this attempt murder out in Southern Maryland, right on top of that. So it was like, man, it was just bam, 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 everything back to back to back to back. Situations, man, that was like, man, it was wild, you know. And it was like, man, I was just going through it, and I wound up the situation with me and my wife, ex-wife was happening, and I'm like, man, I'm fucked up behind it because I'm like, man, right at that time I had really dedicated to trying to fix my marriage and shit, to do right, be a good husband and all of that, and you know what I mean. She was just throwing bullets at me at that time, and I'm like, damn, at some point, yeah, I was a messed up husband. As far I was loyal, I paid all my bills, I did everything except be faithful. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't faithful in my marriage. That was the only flaw in my first marriage. So she going at my neck hard. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, I go through this whole process and I'm head first back in the streets. So I wound up catching this attempt, man. And that was like, the timing of that shit was so crazy, man. But then right after that attempt, they wound up bringing me back to the gig. Cause there was a bunch of, man, they was missing my numbers and shit there. So I go back, man, and I was going through a whirlwind right at that time. And I wound up, my way of thinking, my sick way of thinking, and a lot of dudes think like this, man, when you're going through a relationship breakup, only way you know how to pretty much get over that shit is to jump head first and start hitting something else. That's exactly what the hell I do. I wind up fucking around with this chick that really wasn't even on my stature, wasn't even on my level or nothing. But I was just trying to, you know what I mean? I was just trying to do some shit to keep my mind occupied, to keep from, man, just being out here, this motherfucker go crazy. And she was old, man, an old mud duck for real nasty bitch that I should, you know what I mean, that I shouldn't have been dealing with in the first place. But I locked myself into that just to stay occupied, man, for a minute. And I went through a couple years of, man, just that, man. I dropped off the face, man. I stopped going out. I stopped hanging, you know, I stopped hanging around the people that know me. Everybody like, man, what's up, yeah, man? You just vanished. I just dropped off the face, man. I went to work, to the crib, and that was it. You know what I mean? It was like, man, I disappeared. And it was like, man, it was I had all kind of emotions going through me. So when I caught that attempt, once that situation got resolved and fixed, you know what I mean? My man C, he's still doing what he doing. He trying to get me away from this bride that I'm dealing with, because I ain't on top of my shit. I ain't out here getting my money like I can. I ain't out here moving shaking like I can, because I got a lot of shit accessible to me. And I ain't on top of my shit right at that moment. And my man trying to, you know what I mean? He trying to get my mind right, get right back next to him, because he running it up at this moment. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't focused. And my man loved me so much, and he gonna try to make sure that I'm good at all times. He's just gonna keep throwing it, trying to. And that ain't me, man. I ain't even focused. I'm fucking shit up. I ain't never been no dude to be in nobody's pocket, man, messing no money up in the streets. I ain't even giving no damn right now. So, you know what I mean? I took a step back away from my man just to save himself, because he gonna keep trying to reel me in, but I wasn't focused. And by me doing that, though, I backed up away from my man. And when I was around my man, that kept a lot of the wolves away from him. You know what I mean? Because I was on point to the T with this dude. And by me not being around, so one particular night he was on his last run. He wound up getting caught up at a bar, came back from vacation early, and got killed, man. And it's like, man, that shit fucked me up, because it was like, man, I know if I was with him, that situation wouldn't have went the way it went. So it's like, man, I'm going through a whirlwind of, man, all kinds of stuff. And mind you, a couple years go past and I still ain't seen my best friend / brother since he balled out and erased everything R.A.P. I was the street dude. I was the dude that handled all the shit in the streets, kept everybody in the streets at bay, kept all the street niggas respecting us and coming to support what we was doing. And my man did all this computer shit. But he kept all the notes intact, had all the everything. This is my best friend from childhood. Man, we just shared everything, bank accounts, we just shared everything. Never been no cross between us, man. So when this shit goes south, he erases everything off the internet. I had just ordered 5,000 more CDs, hoodies, T-shirts, posters. Gave it to him to handle that. He vanished on me, man. Ran off with like 10 bands. It was crazy, man. And it was like the people that had put that money in was ready to go on some other shit, but I still couldn't let him violate him like that because of the history, the family, the kids, the moms, everything. So it was like, man, there was a lot of shit going on. And it was like, man, for a few years, I was just in a whirlwind. I just worked. I just went to work, came home, went to work, came home, did nothing. I ain't hit bars no more. I ain't go out no more, nothing. And everybody like, man, what the fuck is wrong with Yak, man? Yak tripping, man. What's going on? But I was going through a depressed stage. I had not even discussed the situation with how the album shit went with nobody. Because, man, I can't talk bad about my man to everybody that know that's my man. So I didn't even discuss it. I finally wound up getting a divorce. And then it took a while for us to get back on even being cordial and communicate with each other. So it was like, man, there was a lot of shit going on. I just put my head down and worked for a few years dealing with a broad that I shouldn't have been dealing with. You know what I mean? And then I wound up getting fed up with that shit. And I had to shake that shit up, man. Bam, it's time for me to get my mind right. You know what I'm saying? I went and grabbed me another spot. And man, lo and behold, out of the clear blue, I get home from work one day. I open Facebook up. I see a message from Deanna. And I'm like, damn, the only Deanna I know is I couldn't remember her last name, though, I'm being totally honest. I'm like, that gotta be her. And I'm going through some shit. Man, I ain't even mentally right now, man. How shit been going. But I call her. I hit on Messenger. Turns out to be my wife just today. We got back and she found me. She wound up finding me on Facebook, man. And she came to see me, man. And that was like a big weight off my chest. Somebody that really I could really talk to, somebody that I really could be myself with, that I really could vent to, that I really could let all that shit out to. And man, from the first day, me and her got back in touch. Man, I left. Shit, we saw each other every day after that for how many years, baby? 5 years straight. We saw each other every day from that point on. And you know what I'm saying? That was what got me back into my man. Salute, L Blue. Salute, L Blue. What it do? That's what got me back into my mind frame of man. Getting Yak back, you know what I mean? She was a big inspiration, man, and reminded me who I was and shit. Like, what the fuck is you doing, nigga? Get your shit together. You know what I mean? That tough love and you know what I mean, made me refocus and man, get back up out, leave them fucking streets alone. Even though I wanted to really jump out there on some shit with my man, the way my man got killed and everything, she the one kept me from jumping off the cliff and probably being locked up somewhere or something right now, you know what I mean? So I was like, man, and man, her just locked in, man, and rekindled all that old love and shit we had and then resurfaced. And man, it was just perfect timing. Like God blessed me at that time because I was on some, I'd have fucked around and lost it right now. But she was a big part of me, man. Getting my mind back together, you know. Beautiful love conquers all. Yes, it do, Blue. Yes, it do. It's like, man, she was a big part of me, man. Like getting my mind and shit back together, man. And she just, man, she stayed on me. Get your shit together. We gonna open something up. We gonna do X, Y, Z. We gonna keep it moving, man. And she started taking me back on, getting me going back on vacations and getting back into the real world. Cause man, I had sunk into like this abyss for a minute. You know what I mean? It was like, man, it was a ball of just negative energy coming at me all at one time for like probably a 3 to 4 year span, man. I was like in a funk, you know what I mean, behind the whole situation. And I had never told nobody the situation, how the music went. People wouldn't even understand. I was in a depressed state about that. I was in a depressed state because at that same time, my marriage was ending. I was in a depressed state at that same time. I was catching case after case. Then my man get killed. It was like it was a lot of shit coming at me all at once. And man, she was like, man, she brought me up out of that. You know what I'm saying? I can be 100% honest. Man, she was a big factor in making me get back on my shit. Like, man, niggas, tighten this shit up, nigga. You ain't no, you ain't no sucker dude that be need no sympathy. Get your ass up, man. Up, put your big boy pants on. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciated it. You know, because it was like, man, we just, man, we built it back up, man. From that old, we got that old thing back. You dig? And man, shit. A few years later, me and her married. And man, we doing real good together. You know what I'm saying? We complement each other, man. And we build it, trying to build some generational wealth around here. Cause man, like I was telling the other day, I say, shit, baby, this was my story is a tale. It's a tale of all tales, but my shit ain't over yet. Cause before said and done, man, my baby gonna be kicking with our feet in the fucking sun in the sand, non-stop. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't over. This was like, man. That's where I'm at today, man. And then I wound up, she was telling me, pushing me to get back into telling my shit about my music. That's why I wound up coming on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because she was like pushing, like, man, you got too much your catalog. You just forgot your music. You done let Yak just go to the back burner. And man, she's a big reason why I came on here, started telling my story, started now sprinkling out a little bit of my catalog. And that's where I'm at today. You feel me? It's like, man, I'm in a positive space. Man, the wife, we happily married, and man, we build it, you know. But man, that's where I'm at today, man. This was a journey. This was a hell of a journey. Ups, downs, and a bunch of downs that back up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still standing, still in my right frame of mind, still thorough as it get. And I'm a young ass about to be 50, you know? Still cut up like a bag of dope. And I'm still good, man. So man, that's why I'm at today, man. And I appreciate, man, everybody taking the time to sit back and listen to this, but man, this journey with me. And man, it continues, you know. It's like, man, I'm here today, man, and I'm trying to get my YouTube thing built up, telling this ginormous story of mine. You know what I'm saying? And I got a few of y'all dedicated, you know what I mean, dedicated followers, family. Y'all family, y'all ain't followers, y'all dedicated family members that's stay tuned in with me, the L Blues, the John Shaft, the Lipinskis, everybody, man. I appreciate y'all to the T, man. But I'm gonna cut this right here, man. And you know, I appreciate everybody, man, tapping in with me and man, taking this journey with me, man. But it's like, man, my thing is, man, don't ever give up on yourself. Keep your shit moving. Man, keep your chin up, man, stick your chest back out, man, keep that shit moving, man. God got plans for all of us, you know what I mean? And my thing was, it's like, man, I always use my voice doing music. And I say, man, I think God had a different plan for me. Now you got me using my voice on shit like this. But I'm still using my voice. It's all a gift, right? It was a gift he gave me a long time ago, man. And I had to learn how to appreciate it in different ways. Cause man, music was in my soul. That was in my ribs, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, I still like talking. You know, I got a voice, man. I like speaking that shit sometimes. And man, so man, I appreciate all y'all, man, tapping in, and man, I hope y'all enjoyed this ride. I hope y'all enjoyed this, man, this journey, man. And it's like, it's a lot of stuff I left out, but that's gonna be in the book. Man, I'm doing a book, man. I'm trying to find me a publicist right now and everything, man. Cause it's like I got some things to say, man. I really got some things to say, man. But again, man, appreciate everybody. L Blue. You know, it's nothing but love. John Shaft, everybody, man. Everybody that catches on the replay, man. Like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm gonna keep coming back with y'all folks, man, with, you know, what me and the wife be doing today. Cause man, I'm gonna have to do a whole section of just me and my baby. You dig? So man, I hope everybody had a good one, man. I hope everybody enjoyed this, man. I'm gonna check y'all out with a classic, which you part of the, you know, the catalog. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, folks. What I tell them, you got to respect it, but they will not disrespect it. Thank you, people. Thank you. Holla back. I think it's just like ladies, man.
They can say that I ain't God's son. I'm 26 in the hood with 17, that's my homie for good. They the box, still the punching out. Nobody clocking in straight pharmaceuticals instead of music. My woman was beautiful. She ain't sleeping at once. The sound of heavy metals keeping her up. Guns and roses, who you stop paying where the body drop. Make sure causes and pouch and songs. The body you lick the intertwines with the rain. If you got a real another underbrothers like Swain. When witness man, the hood wants for now. So your friend living up in the clouds now. My eyes get pressed towards the hills for real. The niggas fresh off the back. We need to do that. We need to strive. Just got 44 shorties in the hood, got 44 cold war. Hasn't been in the east, wars with the surrender. When you say the temperatures, everyday December is. I bet the little white traffic and coke to get the force traffic and don't be hot dog.
This ghetto life of mine, the daily inspiration, stay on my grind. See, I've been set up to fail, but that's fine, but they can't jail my mind, so I'm still gon' shine. Living in this ghetto life of mine, this daily inspiration, stay on the grind. See, I've been set up to fail, but that's fine, but they can't jail my mind, so I'm still gon' shine.
Poetic paradise, like a paradise. I'm only 11.
Hit row 7 twice.
Live like a spirit, so I learned to God stripes. In the hood, we learn to make little suffice. When we little, we care too much about ice. Then we get little and tend to forget Christ. Leave the middle and go too far to the right. Now your breast brittle, and you look for the heights. Blaze up. Not your fellow vegetable, grab the steel, then forget your principles. Think like it's hard now, but in a minute, bro, you miss what you had
When they shut that prison door, just another brother gone, left alone.
And he'll never be the same.
That's if we make it home. But that's fine, they can't take it to my mind, so I'm still gon' shine.
But that's why they can't chill my mind, so I'm still gon' shine. Living in this ghetto life of mine. This ain't the inspiration to stay on my grind. No, I'm saying I'm real. But that's why they can't chill my mind, so I'm still gon' shine. Living in this ghetto life of mine. This ain't the inspiration to stay on my grind. So I'm saying I'm real. But that's why they can't chill my mind, so I'm still gon' shine.
Thank you, people. Thank you, people. Man, like, subscribe, and share. Yak, Chicago's finest. L Blue, thank you, sis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate all the love, man. Man, all y'all have a good one, man. I'll be back at y'all on the next one, man. Yak, Chicago's finest. All true tales. All true tales. No fiction, baby. And we out.